quick, I pour my cylinder and I slightly go stretch it out a little bit and then keeping the top a bit smaller because you're going to close it, so you don't want to open the top too wide, and also you want to leave enough clay on the top. Now I'm ready to shape it. In the meantime, I will make sure the opening is smaller. So I'm going to just close it a bit. First, I will use my wooden rib to remove the throwing mark. So I remove the clay from the bottom corner so I have a clear view of the whole proportion. And then I'm using my metal rib to do the final shaping, so that I have a better curve. And the clay here on the shoulder is a little bit thick because I haven't really stretched it, so I'm going to squeeze the clay more toward the center. So after taking care of the shoulder, the bottom I wanted to be a little bit out more, but at the beginning I'm afraid of if I stretch out too much while I'm working on the top in my slump, so I will do that last. So now before I close further, the opening is still big enough for my my finger to go inside, and then take care of the bottom. But I want to take care of the shoulder first before I go here, because all the way from the top, this part, if you stretch too much at the beginning, it's going to collapse eventually, so just be careful with it. So this is how my finger works. Put this finger inside, and the thumb is kind of poured in the clay, and the right index finger is helping to support it, and then slowly squeeze the clay toward the center. So I'm leaving a little rigid when I'm using my metal rib. So this part here, there's a little rigid here. Using the corner of my metal rib. And then I'm going to use a wooden knife. Make sure you sharpen your wooden knife. See that my knife is wooden knife is very sharp. You can use that sandpaper to sand it, so this part is sharp. A lot of people, they have their wooden knife too dull. Okay? It's very easy to sharpen it. Just use sandpaper to do it. So I'm using that to cut a little undercut underneath the ridges. So you don't want to go like this. This is, you're going to cut it. Just cut a little tiny piece of clay off, and then you're going to use the clay to kind of make it look like the stem. So this part here, you can push down. Pinch a bit. And if you want, you can use a very sharp knife to just cut slightly cut it off. make it look more like a pumpkin, this part is very important. So do a bit better job on making this part look right. Slowly pinch it in. And I don't want the stem too small, so I don't have enough clay there, so I'm going to just add a bit of a clay to get more volume. Just you can put the clay there, so you have more volume. And just slowly pinch it in. Right, so now I'm trapping the air inside, so I could do whatever I want to do without making it collapse. So now is the perfect time to draw all the ridges to kind of make it look like the pumpkin. You can use a popsicle stick. Okay, I'm grinding this wooden tool to a very narrow and little curve here. So I'm going to use that to draw the lines, the ridges. And then I'm going to use a tiny little bit of sponge. You can just cut it, small piece of a sponge, and using that corner to smooth the ridges I just draw. Right, and then I'm going to punch a hole. Okay, a tiny hole there. And now the important part is, after you punch the hole, you can release the air. So I'm going to push the stem part down a bit so it look more like a pumpkin. Right, so that's the pumpkin, and sometimes I will dry a little bit so it hold the foam better, and then I will use a sponge again and to make the line, the ridges a little bit deeper. So after I dry a little bit further, I will be able to push the ridges a little bit deeper. That way the whole shape holds better, and I could use a sponge to push the ridges a bit deeper. Okay, keep on pushing it. Alright, so I'm just leaving the hole so that the moisture inside can come out. So that's the 3 pound of porcelain demonstration. Hope this help. You can make your own pumpkin at different scale, depending on your ability to throw the amount of clay. So I'm gonna do 2 pound and 1 pound, and without tucking, and just show you the whole process. Okay, so that you can see it kind of reviewed. Alright, so pretty quick. I do 3, actually it's not very quick. I just use the timeless mode so you can see the whole process. I make 3 different sizes, 1 pound, 2 pound, and 3 pound of pumpkins. And the important part is the stem, that you want to spend more time taking care of this part. Depending on this part, that the whole pumpkin looks nice or not. So spend more time, just follow my demonstration. You should be able to get a nicer looking stem part. And hope this whole process help. And it's time of year, the end of September, so you have about a month to make pumpkins, so that you can present it at Halloween and even Thanksgiving. Alright, so hope this help, and see you next time.